Good morning and welcome to the morning show with Angel and Tina and our virtual guests, or our guests in their virtual studios, their real guests in their virtual studios today. And again, we are global, crossing continents. Tina, how are you doing?
Doing fabulous. It is raining today here in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's raining. So, it's nasty and dark and
was it Sally?
Yes.
Sally the storm.
You're not getting nothing down in Orlando?
I know, no. Although I have this window closed.
She was like, hold on, let me see outside. Oh, there's sun.
And my husband came in today. I'm visiting in Orlando this week. We drove down this weekend from Denver to bring my daughter. We bought her.
Don't say you're vacationing, because that is not
I am not vacationing.
Is vacationing.
Yeah. So my husband and I, so all three of my kids work at Disney. And my husband and I drove. We bought my daughter a car in Denver because her brakes went out on her car. More expensive to replace it than the car was worth. So we found her car and brought it to her. We spent 30 hours in the car this weekend driving here. Well, I work, like Angel works, even though, I'm virtual. The good news is, right? The good news is I can work from anywhere, and the bad news is I do. So I've been working, but they've gone to Disney, and they brought me a sweatshirt.
Which is super cute.
Yeah, I know. It's got the big Disney World on it. It's pink.
That was your souvenir gift yesterday when everybody went to Disney?
Well, they all went to Disney. They brought me a t-shirt. Anyways, I'm in Orlando and it's sunny. It's sunny here.
Oh, that's good.
Dinah, how about you? Tell us where you're coming in from.
Wow, I am in Africa. I'm in South Africa.
I think it might be. Oh, wait, no, it's not, because we had another guy, Matthew Clark, was in South Africa. So,
yeah. Okay. I'm in South Africa, Johannesburg, the crazy city. So we are loving it. Finally, we're out of lockdown. So we're very excited. The weather is beautiful also, because we just had winter. Now we are going into spring. So weather is beautiful. So we are super excited.
So you were on lockdown during the winter time.
Yeah.
I think that would be a little bit better than us being locked down on spring and summer.
I don't know. I mean, I can see.
Yeah, lockdown is lockdown.
Lockdown is lockdown. I think because here it gets dark earlier. Like, I think it would be even more depressing to have it be dark and no sun
and gloomy and snowy.
Yeah, I think that might have been a little recipe for you know what it was. You're right, Dinah. Lockdown is lockdown, but you guys, it's spring and they're opening the borders. It's like,
yeah.
Let us out.
We are so excited. I mean, you must just understand, it's been winter, we've been locked down, we couldn't go out, we couldn't do anything. Like you're saying, when it's winter, you can't do anything. You're not motivated to do anything. So like suddenly things have just opened. The borders are opening on the 1st of October, but we can travel locally in the meantime. So everybody's so excited. Everybody's out, though we're still playing it safe. So you still have to wear your mask, you still have to sanitize, restaurants are open, business is open. So it is so excited. I'm excited. I'm like, finally.
Do you have plans to go anywhere?
Yeah, actually I'm traveling. I mean, because I'm in Johannesburg, next weekend I'm going to Knysna, which is part of Cape Town. Beautiful. I'm going to the beach next week for like a week or so. And then in October I am going to Europe. Hopefully the countries would have been opened. I'm like, because right now what they're doing, they're checking, the countries where the infection is not that high, so that we can be able to. So I'm scheduled to go to, the UK and Germany and some few countries. I just want to be out of the country. I just want
to leave.
Yeah.
And Angel, you and I are sitting here going, I don't even want to go to the next state.
Yeah, it was a big step for me well, I did want to come to Florida, but
leave the country.
Everybody's wearing masks, they're doing temperature checks, you got to be social distancing, like all of that just doesn't sound like very much fun to me. And I'm just like, you know what, I'll just stay home until you all are all healthy again. Because it just, it is, but it is what it is. But I'm out. We wore our masks, every time we stopped at a rest stop or a gas station. when we checked into a hotel.
Are you forgetting your mask? Because I don't go out that often, but when I do, I'll go, oh man, I forgot my mask in the car. So I'll have to go back to the car because I forget it.
Yeah. Oh, there was a lot of that. Yeah, there was a lot of that.
Yesterday, actually, because I've been using Uber. Yesterday, actually, I had to come back, like, because I forgot my mask, because we haven't
It's like your keys. Like you have to have your keys, your phone, your mask.
Yes. How about you, Mike? You're in.
I'm right next door to Tina. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina as well with this
We
rain.
know that.
We're neighbors. We're neighbors. I'm in South Charlotte, so not too far.
5 minutes away.
Yeah, we got that storm that's raining on us, which is okay. We need the rain, and in the next week or so, we're going to be 70s and sunny. Spring is here, so I'm excited about that. We're going to be locked in the house. I'm with you, Angel. I'd rather it be nice outside. At least you can look out the window and go in your backyard.
You're outside.
Yeah, you go in your backyard, you enjoy it, right? But if it's rainy, then you're really stuck inside. So yeah.
Well, I just think that with not being able to go out and do all the things you would normally do, to have the addition of it being gloomy would be less inspiring. I'm solar powered. I tell people I'm solar powered. So when the sun is out, Angel's on. When the sun goes down. In fact, somebody posted this morning about being a morning person or a night owl. Mike, are you a morning person or a night owl?
I am a morning person. I have an internal clock. I'm up by 7:30, 8 o'clock. And if it's nice outside, that's my energy right there. But if I were to wake up early and it's dark and gloomy, it might just put me back to sleep.
How about you, Dinah? Morning person or night owl?
I am a morning person. I'm such a routine person. So by 5 a.m., because right now the weather is beautiful, I know, right? But by 5 a.m., I'm already doing my meditation, yoga, and I'm ready to run also in the morning. I'm such a morning person. But literally by the time it's 7, 8 p.m., I'm out. I'm already feeling that because I'm starting so early. I've never been a night person. I've always been a morning person. I function better like that.
How about you, Tina?
Well, you know me. This year
she never sleeps. But only you're in pain.
I mean, it's because of my rotator cuff. But this year, I was a night owl for a very, very long time. I wouldn't go to bed till 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning and be up at 7:30, 8 o'clock. But I get a lot of stuff done at nighttime. But this year, I switched that around. And so now I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. And my body has started to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. And I do my meditation and all that kind of stuff early in the morning so I can get all of that stuff done. But now, just like you, Dinah, at 8 o'clock, 8:30, I'm just like,
yeah. Yeah, all right.
So it's funny because Angel will text me and I'm just like, I'm almost asleep.
No, poor thing. Well, because we're 2 hours difference too. So it's 8 o'clock for me. I mean, it's kind of late, but it's not terribly late. And she's, it's 10 o'clock. She's been up since 5 in the morning. She's like, Angel, I was almost asleep. I'm like, don't leave your phone next to your bed. Turn off your notification. I plug my phone in probably right around 8 o'clock at night, maybe even a little earlier, 7 o'clock in the kitchen. We've got a charging station.
And you don't look at it till the next day?
I plug it in. I'm done. It's not near me when I go to bed.
Right.
Yeah. So
okay. So what are you? Are you a morning person or a night owl?
I'm neither.
I knew it.
Whatever the day brings you, right?
I'm an afternoon.
I like to wake up at 8 or 9 o'clock, and I like to go to bed at 8 or 9 o'clock.
This girl likes her sleep, and I listen to all these people who don't sleep and they can't. And I mean, even when we drove this trip, we thought about, do we just drive straight through? Stop at a rest stop.
And I'll drive, and you sleep.
Yeah, just switch off, and we can get there. Oh no,
I can't do that either.
Angel needs, and not only do I need sleep, I need to be horizontal. right?
Yeah,
Like,
I need to have my bed. I need to have my nice pillows. I need to have it cold. I need to have that fan on me with my white noise. Like, it's almost like a little high maintenance. Like, I'm like, oh no, wait, I need this. I need this.
I sleep. I don't have a problem. The minute I get into a car, I'm gone. If I'm not driving, I sleep. Yeah.
My oldest son is like that. Every time, I mean, we would get down the driveway and he'd be like,
you'd be asleep.
I would look back, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Do you take naps, Dinah?
Not during the day, hey, not as much as I would. Not during the day. I don't do that. And I've never been a napping person. I've never been someone who takes naps, right? But you know, there was just a
now
time
Jenny Potter, the girl who introduced the two of us, she is an advocate of taking naps.
Of taking
and
naps.
taking naps between the hours of 2 and 4 p.m. that it can help you lose weight.
Yeah.
Never heard that.
And I was like,
Yeah, I don't take naps. I'm not a napper, like, because I mean I slept all night, so my Angel doesn't need a nap because I slept all night. But the same as the car, that's how I am on an airplane. I fall asleep before we even take off. Right? Well, we're still on the runway. Yeah, we get on an airplane and I'm out. No, I don't sleep in a car. I mean, you know, kind of after a while you just bored.
You know how that you fall asleep and you're like,
Yeah,
you
you
on an
move.
airplane. Like if I ever take like a red eye, I'm like that time when I was so sick and I was coming home from Las Vegas and I was like, you know, you're falling.
And then you look around to see if anybody saw you do it.
That was me. Yeah, I can't. I have to.
I bought this cute little thing. They call it a turtle. That it has like a little piece of plastic in there to like support your head, but it looks like a scarf, like a neck scarf. So it just wraps around it.
So Angel, put that on the Tina Christmas list wish.
Right? So yeah, it just supports your head, but it wraps around your neck like a scarf, and then you can kind of like put it up and over so people can't see your like mouth fall open and drooling, right? Yeah. And so it just kind of supports your head.
Oh,
and so yeah, you can sleep on the airplane.
I do have the little neck pillows. You know, when you start traveling a lot, you start getting all these little things that help your travel easier, right? Yeah. Like the neck pillow and you know your eye mask. There's like this whole little kit that you can have your eye mask, your neck pillow, a little wrap because you know you might get cold or whatever it is. But that's pretty cool. I like that.
If I fall asleep during the day, when I wake up, I'm done. I mean, I'm cranky and I'm mean and so it doesn't make me feel good. People get refreshed by naps, but with me, it ruins me for the day. So I just anti-nap.
I'm with you. Now it does. I'm crankier. I feel worse. I feel sluggish. My husband is a napper. The guy sits down, and if he's got a chair that supports his head, he is out. He can do it for like 5 minutes, and he wakes up. He's good to go. 10, like whatever. And it does. He's like,
my mom is like, she's like, I'm gonna go take a nap, and I'm like, okay. She'll be in there for 15 minutes and come back. I'm like, I thought you were gonna take a nap. She goes, I did. I went, no, it'll take me a half hour to an hour to fall asleep.
They call it cat nap.
Yeah, if I were to take a nap, I would literally not wake up. Like I would sleep through the day.
15 minutes, like that's the kind of thing you're like, oh, I'm envious for you that you can do that and come back and be refreshed after a 15-minute nap.
So Dinah, what projects, what have you been working on during this shutdown?
So I'm so excited. I mean, sure, lockdown was just, it was very, very, very interesting because I'm always on the road. I'm just somebody who's always traveling, you know, I'm always traveling, like literally. This is the longest period I've been home in 3 years.
How did you transition? How did you adjust?
I wanted to die.
That's how Angel was the last 2 years. I don't think she's ever stayed still this long.
No, right? But molded into my.
I literally took it for granted because we firstly went on a 21 lockdown, and I just thought, after 21 days, I'll be back. I'll be in an airport. I'll be somewhere else. Nope. It was extended. It was just an extension after an extension and extension. And I was with my son. My son was like 19 years old, right? And my son right now, he was preparing to go to college and all that, but he couldn't because it's only going to come to he's studying in New York City, so he couldn't. And it was like, now we are together for this long. So very, very interesting dynamic to do that. So within this period, I mean, sure, I managed to start. I'm writing a book. I'm excited about it. I started writing a book. I've been postponing for a very, very, very long time to be writing a book. I mean, I started a new project. I started a new coaching business, which I'm excited about. So the first 3 months, I was just stuck, not being able to do anything because for us, it's been 6 months literally on lockdown. And but there's been so many crying. There's been so many jumping up and down. There's been so many eating. There's been so many.
That Corona coaster. You're up and down on that Corona coaster.
Yeah. It's been such a roller coaster. There's just been so many things that are happening and all those things. I mean, they denied us access to the world, meaning we needed to go internally and do a lot of work. So one has been doing a lot of internal work and finding what is the next big thing, is that it? Is that it? What else can I do? And I'm very excited because, I was never, ever, ever going to sit down and start writing a book. I've been postponing it for a very long time, and I'm excited that it's going. And obviously, I've managed also to just start doing the coaching and offering my services to a lot of people that I knew I could do it, but I never had an opportunity to just be able to sit down and actually start it and see how it's going. So I'm very grateful for lockdown. Now looking at it.
Now looking back at it, right? Yeah, it's like, okay, there was a blessing.
Angle, right?
How about you, Mike? What kept you busy? What were you working on?
I also was traveling a lot. I'm a communication skills trainer. So I was working for a seminar company, traveling, giving, seminars on how to better your communication skills. And then, of course, boom, no more traveling. So now what? And it took a little time for the company to transition to virtual, right? So that's what I've been doing. I've been doing a lot of virtual classes on Zoom, become like all of us, almost semi-experts on Zoom. I'm also retooling myself. I'm transitioning to become a speaker. I joined a speaker bureau called the motivationalspeakerbureau.com, if I may say that. And I've been retooling myself. I had made a new one sheet. I've come up with the theme because, I live in Charlotte, but this is not a Charlotte accent, is it? So I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, and I like to theme my training as the street corner approach. So when I do train and speak about communication skills, I do it in a very real way. So I've kind of been retooling myself and just setting myself up to hopefully when we go live, get a lot of speaking engagements and then just, talk real to people. Let's put aside the bullet points and the PowerPoints and let's talk real. And that's kind of what I've been doing with trying to get myself into that realm.
Well, welcome to the club. I jumped into that about 2.5, almost 3 years ago now. And it's a whole big learning curve and a shift of the speaker business, the business of speaking. And so welcome. I'm super excited. I'm super excited to have you here and here on the show. Well, let's get to know our guests. Let me read their bios. So we get to know them just a little bit more officially, a little bit better. I'm going to start with you, Miss Dinah. Oh, sorry. I had to pull it up. She's a business coach. She helps women realize their worthiness by healing their traumas that are holding them back to help build most successful businesses. Business coach, top network marketer, and currently writing a book. Tell us about this book that you're writing, darling.
So, I'm writing a book. The book is basically about my story, my journey, and it's about my healing. I really had a lot of childhood traumas as a child, growing up without my parents, and I was raised by my grandparents, separated with my siblings because the situation was just not allowing. So I was somebody who never believed in myself all my life. I was just surviving because the situation was so severe where we grew up, because there was just less resources. There was no resources. And it was a very religious background. So you couldn't even communicate in terms of like how you feel as a child about certain things, because it was about, let's pray about issues, right? So, because I don't think everybody understood what was happening around there. So the only affirmation I was given, I was never told I was beautiful, I was loved. Nobody ever told those things to me, because my mom passed away when I was like 9 years old. I never met my dad. The only time I met my dad, I was like 35 years old. It was at his funeral.
Oh,
that was like how I met my dad, right? So I grew up having all these, childhood traumas all my life following me throughout, and not believing that, I could amount to something else. But there was something that they said to me as a child that I remember. They told me I was smart, I was intelligent. So because I was an A student. So that for me affirmed that I was always going to be successful in anything that I put a focus to. So for me, because they kept saying she's the smart one, she's the intelligent one, and for me studying was just an easy thing for me to do. So I knew that I used education as a way to get out of the situation and actually being able to study. But because I never went through healing, so I just found myself that every time I was actually achieving certain things in life, I was actually going back. And it is actually network marketing that actually forced me into self-development. I've never read a book before, like I used to, and this is like an MBA graduate, because I'm an MBA graduate, right? And I was already a corporate executive. I was working for a television network, and I was one of the top managers there. But I've never read self-development books. I never knew that it's Think and Grow Rich. It was just a world that I never understood. So when I joined network marketing, which I was not even invited to see the opportunity, it was for my ex-husband. They were presenting to him because he's a radio personality. Because obviously they thought that he knew a lot of people, he's a famous one. And I was just there, and I happened to just get the idea, and I was like, can we do it? They said, are you interested? I'm like, hell yes, I am interested, because I like the product. It spoke to me. But also it was my way out of corporate. I was just looking for something else to do at the time. I just felt like I had reached the career ceiling. I was just not happy with how things were. So I got into network marketing. And again, when I got into network marketing, I understood the power of coaching, the power of mentorship, the personal development, self-help world was introduced to me. And I was like, okay. Then that affirmation came again. She's the smart one. She's the smart one. So I remember, so if I'm the smart one, it means that anything that I do, I'm always going to do it to the top. And that's exactly what I've done. I just, went to the top rank of our company in the southern region of Africa, became one of the top female people to reach the top rank of our companies and all those things. So my marriage fell apart in the process of, finding myself in between that. And it's been an amazing journey. But what is amazing about this book is that it's going to be able to literally reaffirm each and every person in the circumstances where you come from. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about that. If you are someone who's really open-minded to always be on the lookout for either opportunities, find the people and partner with the right people that are actually going to do that, you can do it, right? Anybody can actually do it. So my book is actually about that. So I'm super excited, because every time I do my speaking engagement, because I'm one of the speakers in our company, I do a lot of company training. Everybody has always been telling me, write a book. When is the book? And I was like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to write the book. I'm not ready to do it and all that. And finally, I got the courage to actually do it. But I also feel like it was just the right time for me, because it was not forced. Nobody actually was pushing me. Nobody was actually doing it. And it was also because I had just reached the top rank of our company. I was just asking myself, what next? What's the next thing for me to do? And because of my lack of self-worth issues that I still had, not certain that I'm worthy and I've been avoiding to actually do it. I find all the excuses not to actually being able to do it. And when I started writing, it actually opened up a lot of things that started happening, that I've seen the transition. I've seen people wanting me to help them in their business. I've seen a lot of females that were actually going through a lot of things that I myself had gone through. And that's where I started even expanding in terms of offering other services.
Wow.
When does your book come out?
I'm planning, like by December, Christmas time. That's what I'm planning.
Good time for books, yeah.
Yeah, part of the festive season. So yeah, that's what I'm.
What's
the
the name?
before the end of the year, we still have 12 weeks before the end of the year, and we can still hit our
days.
We can still hit all of those goals before the calendar turns over, and then you get to say, what did I accomplish in 2020? I became a published author. Yes, I love that.
I like that.
How do people get in touch with you, Dinah?
So people, I have a website. They can actually literally go and check my website. They'll be able to see all the amazing work that I do. www.dination, D-I and nation is a nation.com. And and then you'll be able to see everything that you do. You'll be able to see it's fun. My travels, my speaking engagements, everything that we do it's there on the website.
Dination.com. I love it. All right, well, let's get to know Mike a little bit better as well. Super excited to have you both here today. Mike says it's time to take responsibility for your communication. He's a motivational speaker, virtual instructor, and trainer, bringing his street corner approach to inform and motivate. He talks about, or his talking points are centered around people being self-aware and responsible for how they communicate. He says most people, when they're interacting with others, have no idea what they look like and sound like. Things like body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice are part of what's called silent communication that we have to be more conscious of. All right, this is fabulous. All right, so what am I communicating, Mike?
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because obviously I've been watching your show and thinking about the subject that I was going to be talking about. You guys have very good resting faces. It's because you're on camera and you're professionals. But that is something I look at, all right, and that's one thing I talk about. So how it started was I actually had a short career of a New York City police officer. So I'm born and raised in Brooklyn. I come from a family of cops. All three of my brothers, my dad led the way. But that career was certainly my learning ground for communication skills, meeting all kinds of different people from all different situations, all different backgrounds. So after I retired, I ventured into my hobby, which was computers. I became a computer IT geek, right? I got a job on a computer IT call center, right? So a company's employees would call the IT people when they had trouble with their computers. So when I was training, part of the training was to have people listen to their own calls. And
that's painful.
Yes.
That's painful.
And I remember seeing the reactions of not only me, but hearing the reactions of people when they heard themselves. I was like, wow, do I really sound like that? And you're like, well, yeah, you do. So it got me thinking, well, what about face-to-face? Are people just as unaware of what they look like and what they sound like? So I started to get into the research about it, and I eventually became a trainer for it. It's about, self-awareness. You have an intention of what you want to put out there and what you want to say and how you want to greet people. But a lot of times people think they're good communicators. And what I say to them is, well, how do you know? Because who's the real judge of whether you're a good communicator? Is it you?
No.
Or is it the people you're communicating with? Right?
Yeah,
so
we have a gal that comes on and she says, what's more important, what you're saying or what people are hearing?
How they hear
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or seeing.
Yeah, right. You do. You think you're putting out this, conveying this message, this tone and all of this. I took a picture of Tina she was on a group call the other day, a couple weeks ago.
We were on a panel.
There was 4 of them on this panel, on this screen. And I took a quick little screenshot of it because there's Tina. She's like, I am so happy to be here. And she's just so bright. And everybody else was.
Yeah, that's their resting face. That's their resting face. And
she sends me the screenshot. She says, one of these people are excited to be here.
That's what it is. And that's probably not their intention. They probably are excited to be there.
Yeah. Yes.
Because when you think of a resting face.
When you're talking in your head, you sound differently.
Yeah.
And so when you listen to yourself on a video or whatever, you're like, is that how I sound? Because I sound completely different.
Tina says that to me all the time. She's like, Angel, is that how I sound? Is that what I look like? Is that?
You have to start accepting that is the way you sound. One of the exercises I give people is to get them self-recorded. Have somebody close to you that you trust record you without you knowing, with your permission, of course. And then you need to listen back to that, because that is training, that is therapy, that is, yes, that is the way I sound. That's the way I pronounce words. And if you want to make adjustments, it's going to be based on that. And the resting face it's not your intention. All it is that when you relax the muscles in your face, because of gravity, your muscles go down, right? And, people pay millions of dollars, if you know what I mean, to keep their muscles up, if you know what I mean.
So and I talk about that face tape all the time.
Do you want to hear my secret, Mike?
Yes.
She tells me all the time.
You sure you want to tell it on the air?
I don't know, because
we've been on the air for a couple of weeks. I keep telling her, I said, my cheeks.
And Tina, she's like, I want face tape to push it back.
Yeah.
I tell her my cheeks are killing me, and so she told me her little secret.
Yeah. So I have two of them. One is when you are resting, it's, it hurts your cheeks, right? To keep smiling, and then it starts to feel forced, and it feels like it's hard, right? So if you take your tongue and rest it right behind your front two teeth, it takes the pressure off these muscles. You can relax, and it keeps just a resting,
a neutral face, I call it.
Yeah,
a neutral face.
It's your tongue, like sitting right behind your front two teeth, so it takes all the pressure off, right? So you don't have that fake smile, right? And number two, it's also, right, your smile is, it's the universal language, right? It puts people at ease and helps them, creates warmth in your voice and everything that you're sharing. But you can't sit there and have a talk and you're smiling, right?
Can't be a fake smile, no.
Right? You can't do it. So, and you also, we tend to talk too fast, right? We tend to talk really fast, and, because especially when we get really excited, and so we can, we speed it up. So to slow down and to keep a smile on your face and to keep that friendliness and that warmth in your voice is after a sentence or in between sentences, you smile. And then you continue your talk. And then you smile at the end of a sentence.
And you know what that also does, Angel? Prevents you from using filler words. Because you're smiling during the pause. And when people have filler words like and like, it's because they're uncomfortable with pauses. So that will replace the pause.
Oh, have you ever had one of your videos transcribed in the closed captions of any of your videos that you've done on Facebook?
I've never done that. No.
You never done that?
Yet.
You discover the word that your filler word is. Like
I am so.
What is your filler word?
My filler word is right.
Me too. We share it.
It is right?
I once said right 28 times during a 5-minute presentation.
Yeah. I was looking at a closed caption and right.
In between every sentence. And seeing it when I watched the video, that was the impact I needed to get over it. I probably still do it a little bit, right?
Right.
But,
yeah. So if you guys are listening, if anybody's listening, you're in the comments. What's your filler word? Do you have a filler word, or do you have any like on-camera hacks for how do you handle when you're the listener, right? Because when you're the listener, you're not actively participating. What are some tips and tricks that you have for conveying and communicating? So what are some tips that you share with your audience, Mike?
Well, the one exercise I give people is this, because you have to get familiar with your own face. Most people are not. So there's an exercise you could do in the mirror. So get in front of the mirror. When you're looking, you close your eyes And once your eyes are closed, you totally relax your body as much as you can. You find your zen, you know, take about 10 to 15 seconds. Once you hit that point, you open your eyes, and you know what you're going to be looking at? Your resting face. That's going to be your resting face. And it's important for you to see that. You're probably not going to like it, which is okay, but know that you display that face several times a day. When you're driving, when you're in your office and people are walking by and they look at you, they're like, what's wrong? Hey, does this ever happen to you? Somebody comes over to you randomly out of the blue and just says, are you okay? Is everything all right? And then you go, yeah, why? Well, I feel fine. You had
I
your
used to say to people, like, especially because, you know, when I started doing public speaking, you know, I came from radio, so I never saw my audience. And so now I'm standing in front of an audience and seeing their reactions and their responses. And I would say to them, if you're having a good time, notify your face, because
I like that.
There.
I'm going to use that. Thank you. With your permission. I like that line.
We're going to have to see it now. You know, if we're out there speaking and everybody has their mask on, we're going to be them seeing.
Yeah. Because also something important. What you said before, Angel, that, I think Tina, you said it, where you hear one voice, but what comes out is different. Now, the face is the same. What face you think you're making is usually a level below what actually is being displayed. That's why that mirror exercise is so important, because then you close your eyes a second time, and before you open them, you put a slight smile, what you think is a slight smile, right? Then open your eyes and see what you see. You probably won't, you'll see a better face than the resting face, but you may not see the smile that you think you have. You know, I've come to learn that when I have my neutral face on, I feel like I'm like this, right? And I don't want to walk around like this. That would be kind of weird, right? But I've come to trust that when I feel like I'm doing that, I really have a good neutral face when it's, you know, I'm networking with people, or I'm in front of the camera, or I'm listening. And again, Angel, you said listening before. That's the other half of communication. What do you look like when you're listening? And because if you think you're a good listener, really, it's irrelevant what you think. It matters what the talker thinks. Does the talker believe that you're listening? And hearing the words is only half the battle. Yes, we know we have to hear what people say so we can interpret, but do they think you're listening based on your body language? Are you looking at them? Are you making eye contact? Are you nodding? Are you asking questions? Because even if you're really listening in your brain, but you're not displaying those signs, the talker thinks you're not listening. And that talker will react like you're not listening, which means they're going to get insulted, and you're not going to really have a good connection with them because they think
your English teacher used to be, Tina, are you listening? And I'm like, sure, yeah, I'm listening.
But it didn't look like you were listening, right? That's the idea. So that's the other half of communications. It's the perception people have.
So I have a daughter who never looked like she was paying any attention, right? She was always doodling. She was reading a book. She's doing something with her hands, like all of this stuff. She never looked like she was paying attention. And yet, when you asked her, she could tell you. Totally recited.
You said this.
You said this. And I'm like, look at me when I'm talking to you. Like, look at and pay attention. So I know that
I can listen to you and do this at the same time.
It wasn't until I was years and years later. One of my fun facts you might not know about me is I used to teach cake decorating at the Michael's craft store. I was the cake lady, and because it was like 2 minutes from my house.
Oh my God. And I thought I knew everything about you.
See that?
See that? You didn't know that?
Yeah. Wow. So I'm teaching this.
I don't see this woman in the kitchen like
with an apron, like the whole thing, right? I was totally Susie Homemaker when my kids were little.
That's Martha Stewart.
So I'm teaching this class and on cake decorating, and there's a woman knitting in this cake decorating lesson. And she's just kind of doing her own thing. And she's describing to me how it helps her to pay attention more when she is doing something else. I'm like, I think my daughter has that because
my daughter has that disease.
My daughter has that thing because she never looks like she's paying attention. She never looks like she's in the room. And yet she's the smartest whip, like she can recite. And it was this other woman telling me that there are just some people that, and now, of course, it's really challenging to have a conversation with somebody who never looks at you. And so she's gotten much better about it. She does it for you, not for her. Like, I don't need
Well,
to
that's the idea, because
attention.
it's the perception that makes all the difference, right? Because those people, as you're describing, they can take in everything and interpret it. But for you, as being part of the conversation, you're not listening to me, are you?
Yeah,
and
right.
you know, when we feel people aren't listening, we tend to slow down. We tend to kind of lower our details,
Well,
and
it's
we also
respect. You're not listening to me, are you?
courtesy. It's courtesy, right? So that's part of the lesson I teach. It's like, you may think you're a good listener because you can retain everything, but that doesn't mean you are, because it's the perception of the talker that counts 100% on whether you're a good listener. So
Angel, what does she do now? Does she look at you now when she's talking to you?
Yeah, she does. And she does it for me.
well, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the courtesy, right? When you're talking to somebody in a conversation, you give them the courtesy of some eye contact, a little nodding. And even if you're not interested in the subject matter, because a lot of people ask me that, but what if I don't care about what they're talking about? That's okay. If you want to connect,
you care about the person.
Right.
Sometimes I have to say, yeah, this is not of interest to me at all, but I care about the person.
Right.
And so I'm going to pay attention.
It doesn't take much. It just takes a little eye contact, a little nodding, maybe ask a question or two, and the person at least thinks you value what they're saying.
Yeah.
And that goes a long way.
Back and watch the videos that we do on the morning show. Angel and I are both like this.
You are. Like I said, I for
bobbleheads.
preparation for the show, I've been watching you guys for preparation for the show. So one compliment I have is you never show your resting face when you're on camera. You make sure that you're engaged and you're nodding, because that's important. As like you said, when I'm on, and I've done so many webinars, when I see other people that are just listening, it looks like you're sticking pins in their eyes.
Right.
And it's not their intention though, but they're not realizing that that's what they're displaying. So, that's kind of what I preach. That's my message. Be responsible and self-aware for what people are seeing and hearing when you communicate with them, and you'll have better connections and you'll be better networking to be successful.
I love it. Okay. Well, this is a great conversation. We're going to keep it going, but I want to take just a moment to say thank you to our sponsors who bring you the Angel and Tina morning show every single day. Of course, our fabulous guests. Been an incredible conversation, very dynamic conversation this morning, Dinah and Mike. So thank you so much for coming on, being unscripted, willing to share life with us, to laugh, to have some coffee. But the Angel and Tina Morning Show is officially brought to you by our fabulous sponsors, Bliss by the Lake Boutique, our clothing sponsor. You can find them online. And they have an incredible boutique of clothing, and they ship all around the globe. And you can follow them on social media. That's Bliss by the Lake Boutique. The Zandra TV network, where we are globally streamed on multiple streaming channels. Whatever your smart channel of choice is, the Zandra TV network is probably already broadcasting there. And you can find the Angel and Tina Morning Show being transmitted into 12 million homes every single week. So thank you to the Zandra TV network. But if you have some content, a podcast, and you'd like to up your game and become your own television producer, contact them at beonztv.com. That's beonztv.com to start your affordable global marketing package today. And are you just feeling a little overwhelmed? Too much on your to-do list to ever get done? In fact, I saw somebody yesterday, she posted, and maybe you guys have heard this too, like, do that whole eat your frogs first, right? Do the hard things first. Do the things you hate to do first to get them out of the way. Nay. Delegate the things you hate. Stay in your genius mode and go to sonicva.com and hire a team, or one. You can start with one, but get to where you have a team of virtual assistants that are taking all of those things that you hate to do off your plate. Stay in your genius zone. And when you mention the Angel and Tina Morning Show, they're going to give you a 10% discount off your first 40 hours of virtual assistant service. That's sonicva.com, sonicva.com. frog.com. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to our guests. Okay, so Mike, what's your frog? I saw you nodding. You're like, yep, eat the frog. You do the hard thing first. What's the frog for you?
Well, before you go there, as far as delegating, you can't delegate anybody eat that frog. There are some things that you can't delegate. So do it as soon as you wake up. For me, when I'm talking about preparing in business and things like that, one of my weaknesses is marketing and sales, which is something I'm working hard at getting better at. So I like to get that stuff out of the way because I dread it. I'll tend to procrastinate on it. So as soon as I have my breakfast and everything, start doing my marketing calls and my sales calls and just get them done. Because after I'm done, I'm so exhilarated. I'm so like, yay, I got it done. And that's the whole idea of Eat the Frog, because I am more productive the rest of the day knowing that I've got that done. And that's the whole idea of Eat the Frog.
Dinah, what about you? What's your one thing that?
I think it's more like Mike. It's just making, just being able to do those sales calls and be able to market myself. And that's why I do the exercise. Like I need to be so high, I need to be so excited. And that's the first thing that I have to do. So I just put like an hour. This is the number of calls. I just need to do follow-ups. This is what I need to do within an hour. And then it's out of the way. I feel like, oh my God, I've achieved. I can literally do nothing for the day. So because if I don't do it in the morning after I've just exercised, I'm feeling good, it becomes very difficult in the afternoon for me to actually be able to do it. So it's the first thing that I get out of the way.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I used to get up in the morning and exercise and work out, and like you, get it out of the way, get it done. Seemed like good time management, right? And then I could take a shower and have that over with. But I started working out at the end of the day, at the end of my work day. I had signed up for some group classes at a local fitness center. And so the classes started like at a certain time. I think they started at 5:30. So it meant I had to leave the office by 5. Like I had to leave, and it forced me to get away from my desk because this class was waiting for me. And I would walk in, of course, your head, all the stuff, like, I've got stuff to do. I'm thinking about stuff. I'm still solving for stuff. There's still work going on in my head. But I'd go in this class, this workout class. And of course, you're fighting for your life, right? You're huffing and puffing and
for your life. You definitely are fighting for your life on the Peloton class.
Right. And well, this is before Peloton. So this is when I used to do Orange Theory Fitness. And so now I'm thinking about the workout. And all the things I'm trying to solve for went, to my subconscious is now solving for it because, front and center, I'm, doing my little thing. And I would come out and all the things I thought I was stressed about, not stressed about anymore. Work was over for the day. I could relax and put that behind me because I could just keep working, right? You guys have seen that. Like there's always work to do. It never ends. There's just always more. But it forced me to leave work at the end of the day by a decent hour. And then when I was finished, it was like it was like a total relaxed thing. And I never would have imagined like that being the thing that I could do. So now I eat my frogs at the end of the day.
As long as you're still productive the rest of the day before you go to work out, are you getting things done?
Oh, dude, I'm a whirlwind of activity and productivity around here.
That's all that counts.
Yeah. But
okay, so
you used to be a radio show host, so you had to get up at what, 3 o'clock in the morning, was it?
Yeah. So I did not do anything before I went to work. I was getting up at 3 a.m.
I barely got in the shower when I went to work.
Actually, I was leaving my house at by 3:30. So no, I was leaving my house by 3 because it was early. It was early. We get in the
what time did you
studio.
go to bed when you got up at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Well, so the problem with that is you don't go to bed as early as you really need to because the world is still happening, right? There's life and you can't go to bed at 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night. So I was not getting good sleep. I was literally killing myself. But you would get in the studio first thing in the morning. Nothing got done before that because it was the middle of the night.
Yeah, she could barely drink a gallon of coffee before her 4 o'clock show.
Oh no, and I didn't drink coffee a lot before the show because it was just too early. It was like, I can't. Anyways, it was all good, but yeah, it is, you know, we've got to find ways to be, you know, super productive and because we've got an impact, we've got a legacy to leave. So Dinah, exciting project that you're working on right now? Well, the book, right? So we're getting the book out. Anything else you want to tell people about while we've got you?
I'm just excited. Yeah, the coaching. I'm working with women specifically. Very excited. You know, I've started working with a lot of women, and you know, I'm just excited. It's something that I've been doing informally. And right now I've just formalized it. Like if they go to my website, they'll see what I'm doing. It's very exciting. I've seen a lot of people receiving a lot of transformation and getting the result within a period that I've started working with them. So yeah, we need to build a legacy. We need to go out there and make an impact. So if they go to my website, they'll be able to see, you know, our coaching programs, what we are doing, and anybody, we do it anyway, virtually. We can be able to offer our services. So it's really, really good. And yeah, and I'm still in network marketing. Network marketing is literally my full time.
Yep.
It is literally my full time. That's like, I'm full time in network marketing. That's basically what I do for like 6-7 hours of what I do, because I've got a huge organization that I've built. So I still need to offer the support. I'm still literally actively involved in network marketing. That's still my core business of what I'm doing. So yeah.
Brilliant. DinahNation.com is her website. I love that. It's just a fun play on your name. How about you, Mike? What exciting project is coming down the pike that you're most excited about?
Well, what I'm going to be part of called the Comeback Champions Summit, which I believe Angel, you're involved with. Yes, I'll be speaking for them. That's in October. That'll be virtual.
Me.
Oh, you're in there too. I did not know, Tina. Sorry. I would never leave you out. My website is streetcornerapproach.com. So if you go on
I love that.
Yes, you'll see all the, because that's my theme. I talk raw, I talk real. Let's peel away the layers of all the PowerPoints and get to real. So you'll see a lot of the subjects that I speak about. I also told you I'm part of a speaker bureau called motivationalspeakerbureau.com. So we got me and a team of experts to speak virtually, or hopefully when we go live soon, I hope. So Dinah and I can do some traveling again, right?
I can't wait.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to get myself out there. I'm going to be part of the media boot camp, as you mentioned, Angel. I'm excited about that because I got to learn how to get myself out there. That's one of my weaknesses, and I like the street corner approach is something you'll remember. So I'm hoping that I'll use that, and I'll keep saying it. So that's what I'm all about.
That is so sticky, right? Like people remember it, and it's matchy. I know that's not like a sexy little term, but it's matchy, right? When they think about you, right, and that's your messaging. That's where you go. The website, your like everything. So it's
New York accent helps too.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. Okay. And so where do they follow you?
Streetcornerapproach.com. Yep.
Sorry. You said that and I applauded it, and then
you got me to say it twice. What's better than that?
Well, I love that you're coming to the boot camp. Truly, this is, if you're an author, you've got a book, you just need more people, a fresh new audience. Mostly what entrepreneurs have been taught is all this engagement. To go and send them, get them in your email list and do all the follow-up. But those people have already heard of you. And yes, you need engagement. And yes, you need to build those relationships. Those are critical. Yeah. But the most important thing to scaling your business is an audience and getting in front of new people, which is where publicity, speaking, publishing, panels, interviews, all of that comes to play. And that's what we've dialed in here. Actually Tina and I we're now calling it, we're tickled pink, right? Tickled pink to tell you how to get exposure and all of that. But we have a great Facebook group called Need a Guest. So if you want to get booked on stages, or you have a podcast, or you have stages for folks, you can go to our media matchmaker site called Need a Guest, needaguest.com. There's like this little gnat that's like flying around my face, and I don't want to keep like swishing it, but it gets,
We'll help you.
I'm afraid it's going to get in my mouth. Like it comes in like, right, like, okay, I'm going to choke on a bug. That is not going to communicate something very, very professional.
Television.
That's the beauty of live television, right?
Right? But build your audience. Building your audience is the number one thing. And you can use media, even if you don't have your book out yet. You don't have your website all figured out. Perfect. You need a list. So when you are ready, you've got an audience, and then you need some marketing partners and some sales partners to launch that. And we put all of that together. We've got the systems, the platform, the distribution, the power of association is alive and well. If you would love to attend our Media Mastery Bootcamp, it is Saturday, September 25th. And if you text the word ANGEL, ANGEL, to 26786, I'm going to give you a really special deal to come and participate in our Media Mastery Bootcamp. Mike took advantage of it, and I said, thank you so much, because I needed that. You helped me with some data collection. We're going to release all that data information, the results of that, at the Media Mastery Bootcamp, and teach you how to create a marketing engine, a sales engine, using the power of a very powerful online distributor to help you create $1 million business brand selling your book, of all things, right? We were all taught you can't make money in the book. It's all in the long tail sales. It's all in the funnel. But what if it was in the book? And we're going to release that and talk about that at the Media Mastery Bootcamp. Text the word ANGEL to 26786. I'm going to give you a really special deal. 2 different options that you can come and hang out and play with us. So Angel Tussey, Media Mastery, text the word ANGEL to 26786.
I am so excited for Media Mastery because we have a lot of things that we're going to be announcing that weekend as well. And so, yeah, if you are writing a book or a podcast or have a course launching, you definitely need to be at the Media Mastery Bootcamp. It is about who you know or who they know, right? And that's going to help you. I'm Tina Torres, a client retention expert, otherwise known as the gratitude specialist. And I help you build your audience and find those right clients and even retain those clients that you already have. And if you need a complimentary guide on how to do that, you can text the word connection to 26786, and I will help you grow your audience organically online and offline, connect and nurture those relationships authentic, and then take those relationships and turn them into paying clients. You can grab that guide at, if you text the word connection to 26786. We are Angel and Tina on the Angel and Tina Morning Show. We are so grateful to have you guys as our audience. We hope we brought the bright start to your day. We will see you guys tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern. Thank you guys all for coming. Have a fabulous day.
Bye.